Hey guys, James9532 here. Today we're going to be taking a look at my Railway Series James. So as you can see, it's awesome. Yes, I remastered my Railway Series James. As I said in my update video, I would be doing Railway Series Customs again because, let's be honest, most of those old ones were pretty bad. I certainly prefer my new ones. So this is kind of an embarrassing thing to say, but this is Mark 10, I believe, of James. Railway Series James. Yeah. I've redone my Railway Series Custom so many times just because I hated the way they looked. I hated it, and then I redid it, and then I hated that. Then I had a different idea, so I redid that, and then I repurposed it, and then I redid them, and long story short, this is James. This is the 10th James, but this is James. I did borrow my normal James face, because as you can see, he's not in the back. Sneak peek coming soon. But he's not in the Timber Sheds here. But, you know. So, James, the red engine. I took a regular Tommy James, similar to this one, and I cut off the buffer beam. Right about here, I think. Closer up here, probably. But I cut off the buffer beam and footplate. I cut it shorter to, instead of being out here, it was back here. Hold on, see if I can. Okay, good enough. So I put a piece of styrofoam board right around here. Glued that in, covered it with tape. That's what's with the lines. But, yeah. I also made some foam sandboxes, I think that's, I don't know. But, yes, and I glued them, attached them to the wheel arch here. Yeah, that's pretty much all I did for James. For major building, I added these things out of the whistle, made out of a toothpick, a yellow toothpick, which actually looks really nice. Took a few tries to get it in the right spot, because I wanted to make it even with everything else. Because you notice the funnel, the dome, and then the safety valve thing down here, then the whistle up here. The windows are a little weird. I might go back and redo those. But for now, they're good. I sprayed him with Rust-Oleum Apple Red. And he looks a lot more pink on camera. Maybe that's because of the lighting. But I don't know. He looks a darker red in person here. Just like slightly pinker. If you use Rust-Oleum Apple Red spray paint, you know what that looks like. So, yeah, it looks a little bit pinker. I used the same blue I'd used for Donald and Douglas on his lining here, which I was originally planning to use strips of paper and Mod Podge over everything. But I didn't, because I just thought the curves, because James has a lot of curves in his design with his lining. So I just thought it would be really difficult, and I do not want to go through that. So just use a brush, painted it on. Yeah. Oh, I've come up with a new system for couplings, because I did not like how his coupling was all separated, and it was a broken engine, so I was okay with this. I cut it directly in the middle, and there's like a pole where the two wire holders connect to each other, and I basically cut that out, pulled it out, and then I made a wire, not craft wire, like electrical wiring. Took that and just kind of wrapped it around it, made a loop on his cab, and made a hook on his tender. His 5 is something I'm particularly proud of, because I always usually do numbers with markers and I still don't like how they look. This one was done with a paintbrush. A paintbrush. Do you believe me? I didn't think you would. But yeah. If you're wondering why he looks a little bit darker along some of the areas, it's because I had to respray him. Because the blue lining, especially up here, looked pretty bad the first time. I did the lining the first time. But then I went back, lightly resprayed him, and ta-da! I gotta make these red. I forgot to do that. Yeah. Other side here. Oh, you can't see him very well. Here. There we go. Other side. James the Red Engine. Splendid like usual. As always, very grand. Perfect, yes. Handrails were done with silver Sharpie. My best hand railing so far. Jeez, that sounds really perverted. But I also give him a handrail back here. I might give him just like a wire handrail from the top of the cab to the bottom opening of the cab. Just to, like, give it unity, I suppose. I don't know, I like James having that. I thought about shortening his cab, but there's a motor right here, so I didn't. Oh, I forgot to mention the pony truck. As you can see, James has an extra wheel up here. As I just demonstrated, it does swivel. Here. Ugh. It does swivel. Not the best, but that's fine. Sometimes the tape underneath comes a little loose, but it doesn't swivel the best, but it works, obviously. How I did that was, I told you I made this extension part foam. I took a toothpick, stuck it in there, in the foam. Not all the way, but just enough. And I took a push-along wheel, Rebecca wheel, made a little cardboard casing for it, poked a hole so it could slide up and down on the toothpick, and I gave it a little cardboard square so this doesn't constantly fall off. Yeah, so James has an accurate wheel configuration, as most of my engines hopefully will. Gordon might, Henry might not. Henry might, I don't know. I do plan on making another Gordon and Henry. The closest one I have to being done right now is Edward, which you might see in a later video. Yeah. Yeah, so that's James the Red Engine. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.